Welcome back all. So in this video we will be discussing feminist theory and we will be discussing some of the important developments in the feminist theory, some important points like what is feminist theory and who are the major writers or the major contributors in the theory, the development of the theory. And so let us get started. Feminist literary theory is the type of literary theory that focuses on the examination of gender and its representations in literature. The main concern of feminist literary theory is to challenge the patriarchal norms and values that have dominated Western culture and to uncover the ways in which literature has perpetuated these norms. Feminist literary theory emerged as a part of larger feminist movement in the 1960s and 1970s, and it has since developed into a diverse and complex field of inquiry. Feminist literary theory can be divided into several different schools of thought, including liberal feminism, radical feminism, socialist feminism, and postmodern feminism. So, let us have a brief look into what are these feminisms. Liberal feminists focus on individual rights and equality between the sexes, while radical feminists critique the patriarchal structures of society and seek to overthrow them. Socialist feminism focused on the intersection between gender and class, and postmodern feminists challenge the notion of stable universal definition of femininity. Feminist literary theory is concerned with the ways in which gender is constructed and represented in literature, and it seeks to uncover the ways in which literature has perpetuated patriarchal norms and values. Feminist literary theory is also concerned with the representation of women as characters in literature, and it seeks to challenge the ways in which women have been marginalized, objectified, and oppressed in literature. Feminist literary theory is an interdisciplinary field that draws on the wide range of disciplines, including literary criticism, philosophy, psychology, philosophy, sociology, and psychology. Feminist literary theory is an ongoing and evolving field of inquiry, and it continues to challenge and reshape our understanding of literature, culture, and society. So, now that we have a basic idea of what is feminism, so now let us discuss what are the major contributors or major figures in the development of feminist literary theory. First is Simone de Beauvoir. Simone de Beauvoir is a French philosopher and author who wrote The Second Sex, a seminal text in feminist philosophy that helped to lay the groundwork for feminist literary theory. Then there is Betty Friedan. Betty Friedan is an American feminist and author who wrote The Feminine Mystique, a landmark text in the feminist movement that helped to bring attention to the issue of gender and equality. Then there is also Germaine Greer. He is an Australian feminist and author who wrote The Female Eunuch, a seminal text in feminist theory that critiques patriarchal norms and values. Then there is also Bell Hooks, American feminist, cultural critic, and author who has written extensively on the issue of race, gender, and representation in literature and culture. Then there is Mary Daly. She is an American feminist philosopher and author who wrote Gynecology. Okay, and Gynecology is a seminal text in feminist theory that critiques patriarchal norms and values. And then there is Judith Butler. Judith Butler is an American philosopher and author who has written extensively on the issues of gender, sexuality, representation, and who has made important contribution to feminist theory. There is also Adrienne Rich. Adrienne Rich is an American feminist poet, essayist, and author who has written extensively on issues of gender, sexuality, and representation, and who has made important contribution to the feminist literary theory. There is also Yulia Kristeva, very important writer. She is an Bulgarian French philosopher and author who has made important contributions to the feminist theory as well as to semiotics, psychoanalysis, and literary theory. There is also Luce Irigaray, a Belgian philosopher and author who has made important contribution to the feminist theory, particularly in the areas of psychoanalysis and gender theory. So now let us look at Simone de Beauvoir in some more detail. Simone de Beauvoir was a French philosopher, author, and feminist who is best known for her book *The Second Sex*, which was published in 1949. In *The Second Sex*, Simone de Beauvoir argues that women have been defined and oppressed as the other in patriarchal culture, and she calls for women to claim their own subjectivity and to reject the cultural myths that have defined their roles and identities. The Second Sex was a groundbreaking work of feminist theory that helped to lay the groundwork for subsequent feminist movements and to shape the development of feminist literary theory. Betty Friedan was an American feminist, author, and activist who is best known for her book The Feminine Mystique, which was published in the year 1963. In Feminine Mystique, Friedan argues that the traditional roles assigned to women in American society are limiting and unsatisfying, and she calls for women to claim their own agency and to pursue education, work, and personal fulfillment. The Feminine Mystique was a landmark text in the feminist movement that helped to bring attention to the issue of gender equality and to galvanize the women's movement.